Hey, what's up? Tim Sykes here, actually giving a live challenge webinar as I do this video lesson. So I have two windows open right now with a video lesson and a webinar window. I don't even know if this is going to work. I don't know if the sound is going to be good. We'll see. But there's too much going on, so I have to multitask. And my challenge students are going to see kind of behind the scenes of how I make video lessons. EKSO is the main play. I totally missed it. They got all this press regarding their rumored new partnership with Ford, where this company makes exoskeletons, where previously it was for people who are trying to walk, paralyzed people. But now they're expanding the applications of their kind of revolutionary exoskeleton. And there were articles a few days ago that they're working with Ford to basically make factory workers into stronger workers and safer workers. And it was actually a pretty cool visual. The stock has really been spiking just the past 2 days, as I just talked about on this challenge webinar. The news was nice, but what really perked this thing up was the volume. First of all, it's trading like 10, 15 million shares a day. And then also it broke this key level at 260. And it just went from 260 to 460 basically in 24 hours. This is a stock that I'm really kind of angry about that I missed. Normally I don't have like FOMO, fear of missing out, but this is my kind of a play. I also previously, a few years ago, made $70,000 overnight in this, and this is pretty much the exact same kind of setup where this is a total piece of crap company, but they have the news, they have the volume, they have the momentum, and now they have the breakout. Look at this beautiful breakout over the previous high in the 260s. Morning spike, went to the low threes, came down to the 270s and held the 270s. This is the key level. Like, it's nice to say, look, it's gone from 1 to 4. Look at this. If you swing trade it, you're amazing. Well, I do have a student named Roland Wolf who just passed 400,000 in profits in 2017 after beginning the year with just $4,000. So 100 times plus his money. And guess what? Today, as I'm filming this is why I have to make this video lesson while I'm giving a webinar because there's too much going on. He just made $40,000. So he started the year with $4,000. Today, he made alone 10 times his starting stake. And now overall, he's made 100 times his starting stake. I've done some blog posts where it's like how to make 100 times your money. People are like, oh, Tim, you can't make 100 times your money. Look at how Roland does it. Okay. And he is giving some great commentary. You should follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Look at this. He says, someone pinch me, do my best to keep my emotions under control, but I'm freaking ecstatic right now. Biggest trade to date. Check my YouTube for explanation of my plans. Big thanks for Timothy Sykes. Big thanks to Timothy Sykes for the guidance. Really love my job, day trading. And I just want you, and I'll post his recap too so you can see that. But $40,000 on one trade because he was prepared and because this stock is freaking awesome. So this is the stock of the moment. It's funny. The reason why I'm making this video lesson right now is I'm filming this just before 7 p.m. Eastern on a Tuesday, November 21st. My TV show Below Deck, or not my TV show, a show that I've been on a few times. I will probably be on it either tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, season 5, episode 12, or next week. I saw my little head pop up in the preview. So I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know if that preview was for, the beginning of tonight's episode or the end of tonight's episode. They might just be, teasing me for the next episode. So it's either going to be tonight that I'm on Below Deck, episode 12, or next week, which will be probably like November 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern. So watch for that. It's kind of cool. I look like an asshole. But sometimes I can be, so it's not really that bad. But this time, it was a really cool trip. I brought Tim Bowen, who's Stocks to Trade Pro. I brought my first 2 millionaire students, Michael Good and Tim Grattani and their wives, and they had a great time. I can't control what the reality show is going to show, so I might look absolutely terrible, but we had a good time. Last time I was on Below Deck, though, the reason why I'm bringing this up, not just to have a shameless plug, last time I was on Below Deck, I literally made $70,000 on EKSO. So let me show you this. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. Like, I don't understand how this works. Like I'm thinking like, what are the odds of this working, of this happening again? I'm going to show you my $70,000 profit, which actually paid for the whole. If you watch Below Deck, you basically charter this like multi-million-dollar yacht, and they film you for a few days. And I made this trade aboard the yacht last time. I went big because I had like 3 TV cameras in my face, and I was like, wait, I want to create like a good trade. I want to, make this good for TV. So I went huge, and I was rewarded. This was back in 2014. I made 25% of my money on EKSO. And this is so freaking insane that the number one stock right now, 3 years later, is EKSO, and it's going to be my second time on Below Deck either this week or next week. I didn't make money on EKSO this time, but this lesson is all about how past winners can repeat. So it's good for you to follow stocks even from 3 years ago. This is part of the reason why I want you guys studying so much, not just so that you have to trade right away, but so you start keeping track of these big winners so that you can start creating a memory or create a file if you want, if you have a bad memory, or if you witness it, or if you can profit from it, because history repeats itself with these penny stocks. Almost all of these penny stocks are going to go bankrupt. I pretty much guarantee you that EKSO will go bankrupt in the next 5 or 10 years. The odds of them succeeding are like 1 in 20,000. I just don't think they're going to do it. They might, but the odds are against it. What you have to learn to do is play the momentum. The news was a few days ago here. Someone in my challenge webinar that I'm literally still giving as I'm doing this video lesson said that the news was on the 17th here. So the stock was in the 2s. It took 2 days for it to really spike more. And this is the beauty of penny stocks, where if Google announces something big, or GE or Bank of America or Goldman Sachs, if they announce something, the stock is going to spike big that day, that minute, that hour. And the news is going to be, sent everywhere. With this one, there's a time inefficiency. Last time I made money on it in 2014, let me just show you the chart. It's had a rough few years. Was right here. And CNET wrote about it, about their, revolutionary exoskeleton helping people walk again. And it was a very feel-good story. It spread over the weekend, and that's why I profited. I profited 70,000. I actually took profits too quickly. If I had held another hour, it actually could have been like another 100,000. But I'm not going to trade these perfectly. Sometimes I'm, in fact, going to miss them like I'm doing this time. But I'm proud of students like Roland, and I know there are many more students. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up. Right now, I'm all over the place. I'm in my 4th country in 4 or 5 days right now. I have schools opening. I have soccer stadiums opening. I have medical centers opening. So not the best week for me for this kind of a play to happen. But it did happen. I missed it. Meemaw, my bad, whatever. This is my confession. But I'm proud of students who nailed it. And I want you to see this chart, and I want you to see that history repeats itself. Even if this company, look at the long-term chart, it's absolute terrible. But compare that to the past few days where it's literally the best performing stock in the market. So if you want to hate on penny stocks over the long term, by all means do it, because these stocks will crash and burn. Their stocks will go to zero. But when they start heating up, when they have the right catalysts, when they have, former supernovas in them, like the past repeats itself. Short sellers, those of us who are veteran short sellers from 3 years ago, remember certain stocks, how they can go further than, you think. And that makes you less likely to short. Those of us who are longs, if I had been around and I had been more on top of my game the past 2 days, I would have been long on this stock just because I remember how much it spiked a few years ago. So keep those kinds of memories ingrained with former spikers, whether you're a short seller and you want to play it safe, or whether you're a long base trader and you want to be aggressive. Former runners will run again. And that is today's lesson. If you understand that, leave a comment underneath this video saying former runners will run again. Not all the time, and not, in the next week or the next 2 weeks, but when the situation is right, when the catalyst is right, when the chart is right, they can run again. So again, if you understand this lesson, a very simple lesson, leave a comment underneath this video saying former runners will run again. And also look out for me on Below Deck either tonight, November 21st, episode 12 for season 5, or episode 13, which will be next week, November 28th. I got to go. My cappuccino just arrived. Challenge students, I'll be back in the webinar one sec, but I got to wrap up this video lesson. Look at all this crazy shit happening. I love it.